Hey, welcome everybody. We're glad to have everybody here tonight for True North. Everybody have a good spring break? If it was a good spring break, thumbs up. If it was an okay spring break, thumb sideways. Hopefully nobody had a thumbs down spring break. Hopefully you didn't. Hopefully you had a great time. We'll see some pictures of some places that some of you went before. That'll be awesome. We're glad to have you joining us, some of you joining us online. We'd love to have you with us in the filling station here any given Wednesday at 6 p.m. to eat, or at 6:30 for True North. All right, you guys ready to go? Good crowd tonight. I thought the rain was going to keep at least 20 or 30 people away. We were out of food early, which is kind of a fun problem to have. But we'll try to make that better. But hey guys, but you do know if you want to eat, you need to come early. All right. Did you have a good spring break?
Yeah, it was good. How about you?
I did. Got to go and see my parents. That was fun. Mom and Dad probably tuning in now. Are you about to wipe half of us off the face of the earth?
No. I'm gonna use the time stone to go back in time to spring break.
Oh, to go back to the beach.
Yeah, to go back to the beach.
All right, very good. I'm going to use it to go forward to opening day tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So I can find out what happens.
Go
then come
Braves.
back, get a sports almanac.
And bet all your money.
No, we don't bet. I just would predict. I would predict what's going to happen. I realized halfway through that joke wasn't going to land well going off talking about betting on games, so I decided to abandon that joke. Hey, if you've got a cell phone, would you silence that for us so that it won't be a distraction? I just realized I've not done that. Yeah. Go ahead and silence that for us. That'd be great. I've already met several guests tonight. We're not going to embarrass you, but we're really, really, really glad that you're here. And we want to make sure you come back. We want to make sure you feel welcome. So in just a minute, we're going to have a 4-minute party. And when we have the 4-minute party, we're going to all stand up. And when we all stand up, if you're a guest, you should come up here and meet some of our teens who are going to come up here right now and be up here waiting for you. Come on up, guys and girls. If they're here. Are you the only one here tonight? Lila can't make it tonight. Nog's, you're up and out. Sam?
Hey.
Sam, do you have joke of the week duty?
Well, not anymore.
Oh, you do? Oh. She handed the job off to you? Oh, very good. Okay, I'm excited. We're looking for this will be exciting. It'll be thrilling. And then we'll all stand up, and if you're a guest, you'll come up here and just meet these folks. We'll all be meeting one another. Adults, there's more adults than there normally are at True North. We want you to find somebody that you don't know. Teens, look for somebody that nobody is talking to and try to make it your goal to meet somebody new, all right? It's not that difficult to do. It really isn't. So, and then we'll get started. So that's what we call our 4-minute party. Let's all stand up, everybody. Go ahead and stand up.
Hello. Shout out to Mike Jones, who's watching this live from West Virginia and not able to be here tonight. Everything is running well so far.
Hi guys. Knox is doing important stuff. I'm joking. All right, so this guy and this guy has to sub in for him. And this guy. All right, you ready? 1 and 2 and 2. When the 4-minute party is over and done, you have 4 friends. And you also have 4 empty chairs, so you invite them to come sit with you. And now you're really in the eyes of me, in the eyes of him, and Isaac and Cooper, and Skid and God, and my ex-girlfriend, maybe, if she's watching. She's not. It was a joke. Wow! Get ready for an epic birthday boy celebration today. I might be making a special debut. Hey, no.
Fist bump.
Hey, everybody watching at home. We're glad to be back from spring break. Big crowd tonight. We're glad you're joining us online. Love you, Mom and Dad. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you later. Take care.
Hammer, no. We need an ambulance.
All right. So I understand we have a guest for our segment that we normally call Cedric's Joke of the Week. Cedric's not here. So Helen Strickland, come on up. A big hand for Helen, everybody.
I don't want it. Oh. Man, Andrew Todd was walking up here and I got really excited. Andrew Todd was kind of walking up here and for a second I got really excited.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
It's all right.
Before you graduate, Andrew, we need to have Andrew Todd's Joke of the Week. You ready? You come up with one, okay? Make that happen. It's a good idea. Nice job. All right, Helen, how did you get asked to do this? Or did you just take over?
I was sitting next to Cedric.
Hold on, let's make sure everybody's showing you proper respect, everybody. Helen is speaking.
Well, I was sitting next to Cedric at school today, and she said, I am going to be late to True North. Do you want to do my joke of the week? I said, yes.
Okay.
So this is her joke of the week. It's not...
Wait, she gave you a joke?
No, she actually gave me
Okay. I like where this is going. Okay.
She suggested, though, that I do a would you rather question because I love would you rather questions. So instead of a joke, I have a would you rather question.
Oh, this is a new segment. Helen Strickland's Would You Rather.
Yeah,
okay.
Fun little twist, I'd say.
Oh.
So my question is, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck?
Okay, stop. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck?
Yes, or an army of duck-sized horses.
So, but what do we mean by army? Army could be... Thank you,
Just
Colin.
A really large army. I don't know.
Put a number to him.
One duck-sized horse.
I need a number.
Okay.
Did I get that right?
10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
And wait, there are 10,000 what?
Duck-sized horses.
Oh, that's a 10,000? Oh, no, it's easy.
I don't know,
If
you
it's
said
10,000, I'm taking the one.
Yeah.
How many are going for the one duck-sized horse?
But it could fly.
Duck-sized. It's a duck-sized. That's not a flying horse.
It could be.
Well, based on my understanding of her question, it is a regular horse. It's just
No, it's a horse-sized duck.
Oh, it's a horse-sized.
So the duck can fly.
Okay. I don't know.
So I'm 10.
I don't know. Hey, Jackson McKissick, would you close that door over there, please? Would you mind? And turn that light off, please. Thank you so much.
I am punting 10,000 horse-sized ducks.
All right. So, do you have an answer to the
lost.
question?
I have no answer, only questions.
Man, you sound like a magic 8-ball.
Okay, Yoda. She sounds like Yoda all of a sudden. I have no answer, only questions.
10,000 duck-sized.
Answers have I not. Questions only have I.
I'm taking the duck-sized horses.
See, if it was like small, I could step on them all.
That's what I'm saying. I'm kicking them out of here. Kicking all the...
They'll all come back. You just kick them, they'll come back.
Off a cliff.
Colin is taking this way too seriously. All right. Hey, great question.
Mallard.
Thank
Great
you.
question.
That
All right, everybody.
change
A big
anything?
hand for Helen Strickland for filling in. Good job.
What?
Give it to him. All right.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
have, man, there is more energy in here tonight than there has been maybe all year.
In 2 years, I think.
I don't know if there's more people, but
Everybody just needed that break to kind of rejuvenate and revive.
It's I know it's real. It's going to be really hard to pay attention in those booths over there, but you all can make it happen. I got faith in you. All right. Hey, some of you are a year older or you're about to be. It's time, everybody, to celebrate our birthdays in the borough. Anybody got a birthday March 27th to April 9th? Whoa! Lots of birthdays.
Oh, come on. They keep coming.
Come on up. Lots of birthdays. Hey, this is amazing. You already get an Abraham Lincoln Band-Aid. I know you're so thrilled. And this is the last of the Band-Aids, everybody. The last of the Band-Aids are in that container.
This is a treasure now.
It's a treasure. We got something great coming. Something great's going to be around the corner for next year. So already be excited about it, but this is it. Grant, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about the Abraham Lincoln Band-Aid? 11. All right, very good. I can tell. Oh, that's rare. Let's not give that one away.
Yeah, we won't give that one away.
Yeah, hold on to that one. All right. Hey, so we got birthdays from all these folks. How old? 15, 14, 16, 17, 13. We got new teenagers and folks that are in their okay, good. All right. Are we going to sing happy birthday to them, or am I about to be interrupted? I'm probably going to be interrupted.
Let's just try. Let's go ahead and do it.
I should just try.
Oh my God!
I'm watching. Okay. There they go. The birthday boys are at it again. What is going on? Did you guys travel for spring break? Is that it?
There's a person in that suitcase. I'm willing to bet a lot of money.
I mean, there's got that.
Not in that one. But
I hope
in that
they're.
one.
Yeah. I hope if there's a person, I hope they're in that one and not in that one. Is there a theme? You guys were on spring break, and you went somewhere. Am I supposed to guess where? Or just that's it. You brought something back with you.
Take your time.
Yeah, please.
Astronaut.
We have nothing but time. Okay. Do we need to unzip that one? We do.
What is going on?
Oh, wow. I don't even know. I'm always nervous for people that are here for the very first time going, maybe I should not have shown up tonight. We're going to try to turn that around. It's going to get better. We're going to sing happy birthday to these people the way we do it in the NBYG. And all you have to know are 3 simple words, and those 3 words are, you're still cool. And it goes like this.
Well, you're 1 year older than you
Nice and
used
loud.
to
Here
be,
we go.
And
You're still cool. Come on. You still got it.
It's
Nice and
plain
loud,
to
Abby.
see. You're
Come on, Abby.
still cool.
Come on, tell them.
Yeah,
Here
it's
we go.
your
Birthday today. Let's go.
That's
Why we're here to say. Come on.
that you're still cool.
Everybody say happy birthday. All right, very good. Very good. Happy birthday, guys. Good job, birthday boys.
Congratulations.
Way to go.
Congratulations.
Nice. Y'all throwing me off. Y'all like in the switch sides completely. This was crazy. This is blowing my mind. I mean, it's fine. It's totally fine. Our normal back row, they've divided and conquered here. All right. I have no idea I do know what's next. Yeah.
No, we're excited about the event.
I'm excited about this, Hope. I'm just not excited about the chicken.
This, about right now.
All right. Okay. Thursday, 4:30. Tomorrow is Thursday, 4:30. Hope is going to be at Chick-fil-A. Hey, ladies, if you have ever been to even one of these, even one, would you raise your hands? If you've been to one of the Chick-fil-A Thursdays. All right. Hey, we want you to show up tomorrow at 4:30 and read the...
How can y'all get this,
why.
but whenever we say the
This
thing
they can get right.
a large
All right, so Hope,
award,
you'll be there tomorrow, right?
A large
All right,
business
4:30,
agreement, you're
Chick-fil-A on Memorial. Okay. Okay, guys, there's a picture of everybody. They look all very, very happy. It's time now for our pictures of the week. Let's see. I don't even remember what the pictures. I remember some of them,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't remember what's. Our first picture of the week's exciting. Who's our best Spanish-speaking person in the room? That's a teenager. Who's our best teen Spanish speaker? I mean, are you willing to try?
Finn, do you
Well,
know
somebody in the room has got to say, I know. Who's been to Spin? Are you for real? Are they joking? Leah, hey, no, Leah, would you just try? Okay, would you just try that? It's very simple. She's 8 years old. She wrote us a letter. Here's our first letter. It came in the mail yesterday from Elia Villasenor, and she wrote this. I'll zoom in on it. Leah, look here. Leah, we got the letter here. Hey, what we don't need is 80 people trying to translate. Who's going to do it? Leah, stand up. Hey, if you're a visitor, don't worry. We're not just going to randomly make you stand up and say things. We don't mind making Leah do it, though. Leah.
No, if you're a visitor, you have to stand up and speak in English, but not in Spanish.
All right, Leah, we're going to try it. Elizabeth, you can help us out, Elizabeth, if there's an issue. Let's get her a mic. Let's make it even better for Leah. Yeah,
Here, catch.
Leah, this is just a small payback for maybe all the times you've talked when maybe you weren't supposed to talk.
Yeah.
All right, we're just now giving you an opportunity to talk. All right, Leah, give us a shot. What does Elia say to us? I'll start. Hello. She says hello.
Can I read it through first?
Can you what?
Can I read it through first?
Yeah, read it through first. Yeah, go right ahead. We got nothing but time.
I know her classes are amazing.
All right. And Elizabeth, as she goes, you can just give us a thumbs up, okay? Here we go. Let's go. You ready?
I know parts of it.
Parts of it. That's fine. I'll take parts of it. She says hello.
I don't know the first part, but I know the second line is talking about how good her class is.
Okay, how good her school's going well.
Yes, and I know.
Hey, what does the first line say, Elizabeth? Okay. Okay, I love you all very much. Hope that God blesses you. Keep going. You're doing good. And you get help. Hold on. Let's see. And then the second line is school's going well.
I know that.
Oh, that's not it.
No.
Okay, so she'd like to say hello to everybody.
Good job, Leah. You're right there.
I don't know what part we're at now.
Oh.
Okay.
She likes math a lot.
She likes math a lot. Okay, good. I think Leah's going to be working for the United Nations any day now. All right, keep going. What else do we have, Leah?
I know that means house. I'm pretty sure.
House. Do what, Elizabeth? What's the last line say? Yeah. Okay. So that's where the school's going really well. She is doing well at school. You're not a good translator, but you have ESP apparently. All right, and then she says like, is that your friend? With love. That's right. With love. With love, Elia. Okay, good job. All right, big hand for Leah.
Yeah, Leah.
Good job, Leah, are you in Spanish 1? Okay, good. Do you go to class? Okay. All right. I mean, I can't. I'm not making fun of Leah because I couldn't even get that far. You got further than I did.
She's untied.
I mean, I had hello and then Elia. That's good. That's what I got. All right, very good. So there she is. All right, next. Let's check out the next picture. It's a new segment, everybody. A brand new segment called Guess Who? Guess Who? Blake, you want to guess how we play Guess Who?
We'll probably throw a couple of descriptors about the appearance of a person and then say, guess who it is?
Okay, wrong.
Okay.
There's a hint in what you see right there.
So it's going to be a face of a person, but you're going to cover something on their face.
Yeah. Do you have a feeling that only you and I are paying attention to one another and maybe the people at home?
Well, we're having our own conversation while everybody else has their own conversation.
I wonder what we could get away with by saying. We could confess to some crime or something, and everybody gets real quiet. We're going to play Guess Who, now if you know the answer for sure, if you've already seen this picture, don't shout it out and don't point at anybody. Please don't ruin it for everybody else if you don't know. But we would like to see somebody that is active in our youth group that feels like you know a lot of people in the youth group. If you've been in our youth group for a while, raise your hand if you say, I want to play Guess Who. Who wants to play Guess Who? Let's go with, we'll have Isaac. Jack, come on up, and let's get a couple of girls.
Beth.
Okay, come on over here. Right here. Oh, these two girls. All right, come on up. Y'all are going to stand right here. Now,
Bring
now
your
listen
crutches,
carefully.
Lila Beth.
Oh, you're now down to one.
Did you lose the other one?
One crutch. All right, come on up here.
Okay, so it's
And get where you
not
can
by
see the
choice.
screen. We're about to have a healing service right here.
Whoa.
All right, I'm going to show you a picture. Now, guys, girls, you cannot shout the person's name. But if you know, I'm going to show you the picture here. If you know who this person is, just raise your hand. Look at it'll be easy if you look here. It'll be easy if you look here. Shh, here we go. Don't shout it out. We're going to show you a part of the picture. Just raise your hand if you know whose smile that is. No, don't look that way.
The 4
look that
people
way.
up here.
Jack, look that way. Keep looking that way. Keep looking that way. All right. And then you're the only person that raised your hand. Or did you raise your hand? You raised your hand. You think you know who it is. If you know who it is, you're going to get 5 nbyg bucks.
Whoa.
It's worth $5. That's almost more than Ethan got for saying, I don't have any money. Yeah, very good. All right. Who do you think it is? What? All right, she says that this person is Cooper Grubbs. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first ever winner for Guess Who. There we go. It is Cooper Grubbs, One Goal Sports. That is so adorable. That was so adorable. And then I wanted him to make that face again, so we had him make that face. That's a great smile. Hey, Cooper Grubbs, grab a mic up here and step here for a second. I want you to tell us, when you smile like that, when you're in One Goal Sports and you smile like that, what is going through your mind?
You can hold the mic.
Yeah, you can hold the microphone.
My goodness.
In that specific picture, I'm pretty sure I was thinking about a really funny joke.
Really? It looks like
Hey,
you had to go
really
to the
funny
bathroom.
joke?
really, yeah. Do you guys want to hear the joke?
Oh, no, now wait. Why don't you whisper turn your mic off, Blake. Why don't you whisper
into
the
my
joke
ear.
to Blake?
Hold on one second.
While you do that, I know better. This has come back to haunt me too many times. You're going to win 5 nbyg bucks either way. That's pretty exciting. Congratulations. And you're going to go and, yeah, we can say it? All right. What's the joke? Shh.
What do you call it?
No, we need the mic.
Are you okay?
Yes,
Hold
I'm
it.
fine.
There you go.
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
Pork chop.
Hey.
I told you.
All right. At this point, the visitors are still like, I'm still convinced I should not have shown up tonight.
I feel like
all right, go get
Twilight
your NYG
Zone.
bucks. A big hand, everybody.
right.
Campbell came up with it. She got it. Good job. That's Cooper Grubbs. That's how we play. Thank you, MC. You're done.
Yeah,
you
just
go.
one.
That's
Guess
it. We'll
Who.
play.
Thanks,
We'll play
Jack.
it some other time. There's only one person. We don't have multiple guesses. We're gonna have to bypass our other game, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's all right.
But that'd be just more.
Whoa!
I was waiting to see when you saw it.
Whoa!
This actually, I'm told, happened over spring break in some northern state. Like it was supposed to be just this past week. It may be an old picture, but
That's
happened
awesome.
this week. This guy made that out of snow, obviously, and then he got food coloring out. Check this out, Blake.
Oh my!
In his yard, and it looks like he's got Boba Fett's rifle. I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan. I think he's got Boba Fett's rifle. Is that right, Isaac? Doesn't that look like Boba Fett's rifle?
Man, that is
anyway,
awesome.
so Blake, there you go.
That is so cool.
Jump on that.
I need it to snow again
All right.
next year.
It looks like that T-Rex is doing the happy face, which, everybody, reminds me it's time for the Happy Face Pick Challenge. The Happy Face Pick Challenge.
Gray skies are gonna clear up, but on a happy
We
face,
sent you all over the country,
brush off the clouds
did?
and
and
cheer
in some cases,
put on a happy
just like out in the country,
yeah.
but all over the
We
country.
didn't pay for any trips.
Yeah, we just sent you. We didn't cover any expenses
Yeah.
to take happy faces. And here were the ones you sent in. If for some reason we left yours out, then I'm sorry. We tried to get them all in one place. If we did, it has nothing to do with you. Let me know, and we'll try to find another way to show it. Here are some of the pictures. The Priestleys went on a cruise, I'm guessing, right? And they win the prize for sending in the most happy face. I think all they did were send in happy face pictures. Everywhere they went, there was a happy face picture. There you are on the elevator. Here you all are on an excursion. There. Oh, wow. What's happening here?
I called
Eli, where's Eli? Where's he at? Oh, back. What were you doing right there? A ropes course. Yeah, do you jump off the boat or something? You're just harnessed. Okay,
Come
very
on.
good. Good picture. And then here's one you're sliding down. That's good. That's nice. You all sent in a whole lot of pictures. Very good. All right, Emily's got her family, is out playing wiffle ball. Oh, he went camping. All right, very good. I love your brother's shirt there. We can tell he does not look very happy to be in this picture. But he's got a shirt on that says, kindness is my superpower. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think that the wrong person is wearing that shirt. The Dairy Berries went, Blake, who is this? Okay, Haley just says, stand by this picture. Haley, where's Haley? Where's Haley at? Haley, do we know who this is? All right, it's just a soldier. All right, very good. Then, I understand that Joey Doddington did not want to be in a happy face pic, so she sent her brother to do it. Is that the story? Oh, you weren't there? Oh, okay.
You didn't get to go on vacation?
So Will is in some
okay.
air museum. That's a good one. Great. This is great. Kate, where were you, Kate? Okay, very nice. That's a great scenic backdrop there. Great picture. Nicely executed happy face.
Oh, great ride.
Yep. Very good ride. Knox, was the sun in your eye? Like one eye? Okay. There we go. That's a great ride, isn't it? And then also a great ride. Were you the only one on this trip? Yes. Okay. And then here you are. Here you are with the family circus, which every student here reads avidly and keeps up with. And then my favorite one is this. This was great. That's a good job. Good job there. And then we have August and Eli went to Disney World, and you all remember the statue. We shared a story about this particular statue, and they went and got that. That's a great job. Nicely executed there. Fabulous. Here are the walkers. Briley, Kennedy, are y'all here? Raise your hand. Are y'all in the room tonight? So you're at Disneyland in California, and I was told by your mom, these are the 4 walkers and a complete stranger. So she just joined you. You didn't tell her we're going to do this crazy thing and you got to join us? How did she have time to watch and pay attention to what you were doing and then do it as they're going down the log flume? It's remarkable. I want to find out who that is. That person needs a prize. Cedri is at the top of the Space Needle.
In Gatlinburg, right?
Not Space Needle. What's it called? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the. Is it also called that in Gatlinburg?
Yeah.
This one's more impressive.
Yeah, that one's the one in Seattle.
All right, there's Cedri. Nice job, Cedri. This was Sam Chapin and Isaac Bunner. That was good. They never disappoint. So Cooper Grubbs sent this in. Yeah. It's like Cooper squared. And I just was like, before I could even text him back, I was literally texting him back saying, well, this is great. Tell him I said hello, but this does not count. Before I could send it back, he wrote me a text saying something to the effect of, before you say this doesn't count or before you say it's not a happy face picture, he then sent me this. So, well done. Good job. I like that. And Adley is at a waterfall. Is Adley in the room? Adley, what waterfall is this? Where? Okay. All right. Very good. That's an awesome picture. Nice job. And so, Blake, you and Lizzie tell us about where you are.
This is in Clanton, Alabama. It's at Peach Park. For those of you that don't know what this is, it's as if Gatlinburg ate bad peaches and stopped in Alabama and threw up on the side of the road. That's this place.
That's a powerful description. It looks like a third grader made a science fair project and they said, what are we going to do with this? And somebody said, I'll take it and I'll put it in a park. Yeah. What are you all eating there?
Lizzie's eating peach ice cream and I've got peach cobbler with peach cheesecake ice cream.
Wow. Lizzie, where's Lizzie? Raise your hand. Was the peach ice cream good?
It was good. I mean, I asked somebody and they were there for like 2 hours. How they were there for 2 hours, I do not know.
What were they doing there for 2 hours?
Well, there's like a restaurant, like a little park you can walk around. I don't know.
They get a fast pass?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, there you go. So the next one here comes from Helen and her friends. They had a very similar idea.
Well, yeah, but what's crazy is that girl's hand is backwards.
I know. Yeah, it's the hands are.
Two of them have backwards hands. All three of them do.
Yeah, it's very confusing. All right, and then we get Gannon. Gannon is out. Gannon, where are you? Where is Gannon? I mean, I know where you are in the picture, but where's Gannon? Okay. Well, you're wearing the same thing. Have you changed clothes since your trip, Gannon? Since you came back from the. So this was good, but hey guys, check this out.
Man,
that's pretty impressive. I saw that one. We knew that one was going to be a contender pretty fast. And then Colin, you delivered. If you weren't here on Sunday before spring break started officially, we had class, a combined class, asked where people were going, and you were going where? Brunswick, Maryland. And then we said, is there a place there to take a happy face pic? And you said yes. And we all guessed. Like what was going to be, a museum, a famous statue, somebody's home. And we kept guessing, and somebody said something military, and they got it right. I think Katie Coggin got it right. And what's the significance of the tank in Brunswick? Okay. And I said, your job is to get a picture from the tank, and you delivered. It didn't come till the end of the week. Like I didn't get this till this is the last picture I got. And good job, you came through. All right, we had a panel of judges that looked at all the pictures and went through and said, we're going to narrow these down. They were all great, guys. They were all great. Third place is going to win. You get 5 nbyg bucks. Then you get 10 for second, and then 20. So we're giving away 35 nbyg bucks right now. Our third place picture was this one right here. Third place. So, Cooper, if you want to go back, Vicky's got your nbyg bucks. Our second place picture. The second place picture was this one, from the top of the Space Needle, because we've never had one from there.
No,
we've never had one there. And then it was almost a unanimous decision. I think it was almost unanimous. People said, "Wow, that's really an impressive picture." It's worth $20.
20 nbyg bucks.
20 nbyg. Well, that's worth $20. First place, everybody. There it is, right there. Good job, Gannon. Nice job. Go grab your nbyg bucks. So this does bring up a discussion, Blake, about what exactly, when you're asking yourself the question, how do I win this contest? Because some people say, I couldn't go to the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
It's not always who is in the coolest spot.
Right.
It just may be the cleverest picture, and it was really close between the top three. All three of you was very close. As a matter of fact, different ones got votes for second, third, first, second, third. Except I think first was unanimous, but it was very, very close. So in fall break, find you a clever way to take it. But you're probably not going to win by getting one that was taken in the exact same spot as somebody else did, unless you're very clever with how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but there you go. Those are the happy face pictures of the week, everybody. So give yourselves a big hand. You did a nice job. If we left yours out, we're sorry. Okay, guys, here we go. It's now time for Baby Sam Chapin. Baby Sam Chapin, here's the picture this week.
Man.
That's a lovely... Hey, we need your mom to make a version of that outfit that you can wear today. I mean, I need a seamstress. I need a seamstress to get on this and help them out with that. And I'm pretty sure that there's some dads here that have some sandals you could wear. And we need to take that picture again. All right, very good. Good job, Sam.
Sam.
Oh, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. That's my bad. We'll play that next week. Play that next week. It's going to be very exciting when we play it, but I'll go back to this picture right here. Hey, guys, we're just going to head on to the 2T22 picture, if you don't mind, and we'll come back to the game next week.
Do you think that's the face Sam made when the camp sign-up link went out?
Yeah, very good. Very good. Nicely done.
Thank you.
That was a good segue. Hey, Blake I told him to find a clever way to remind me of something I knew I was going to forget, and I did, and he just reminded me. So he did what he was going to do because I did what I said I was going to do. We did send out the camp sign-up link for those of you that want to help out at Kids Camp. There are some requirements. You need to check that out online. We texted that link out. On Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today, only 11th and 12th graders were eligible to sign up. Space is limited, and only 11th and 12th graders could sign up. Now, you can still sign up 11th and 12th graders, but now, whenever you sign up, you fall down at the bottom of the list from wherever you sign up right then. So you have until tonight, 11th and 12th graders, to go to that link and sign up. 9th and 10th graders, as soon as we get done with True North tonight, you can start signing up. 9th and 10th graders can sign up. But you have to make sure you meet the requirements that are listed there on the website. And then on Sunday, 7th and 8th graders, should there be space, which we hope there are, you should be able to sign up. It's going to help if you are willing to sleep in a tent. We have very limited cabin space. We expect there to be a big crowd at camp, and space is extremely limited. And so you need to follow those rules and sign up. So thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
We've already got quite a few. We don't know an exact number yet. We won't share an exact number, but we've got several folks already signing up. So that's how you do that. All right, everybody. We now come to this. And I don't want to harp on it so much every week, and my goal is never to make anybody feel guilty. But if you remember the last night of our Panoply series, hopefully we demonstrated for you in a way that was pretty significant why these chapters are really important. And I just can't say it enough. I just can't say it enough. I went and did a retreat for a group in Indiana. It was mainly a men's retreat, but I talked to some students who were going through just some really tough things. And a lot of those things were covered in some of the chapters, and we sat down and I gave them a list of the chapters we've done, and I said, I'm not going to give you the whole list right now. If you want to join in, go to nbyg.org, and every week you'll see the new list pop up. This week's chapter is 40 verses. It literally will take you less than 3 or 4 minutes to read it, less than listening to one song. And this is important stuff. Your chapter for the week is Hebrews 11. I'm not going to ask who read it. My goal is not to make anybody feel guilty. But I'm telling you, we're trying to equip you with things that you need to get through whatever you are going through. And I'm telling you for a fact, it will not happen. You won't get through it if you're not pouring the Word of God into yourself. Blake, you have had time to maybe read through Hebrews 11. What is a reason that you think it makes the list of 52 chapters that every teen should know?
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to the extraordinary series, but these are people that were living by faith. And to open the chapter, the writer of Hebrews kind of explains this is what faith is. And these are all the people that did something based on that definition of faith. And so it's a great reminder of, I can be like one of those people. I think a lot of times we read the Bible and think they're almost like an avenger and we're just kind of walking through life. But they were stepping out on faith, and some of the faith that we have to step out on right now as well. So
yeah, that chapter is known as Faith's Hall of Fame. And if somebody's so inclined to go back through and read the stories of each of those people, you'll be extremely blessed. But we don't echo this every week. But here's what I'd like to do this week, something that I've not done in a while. I would really like for 1, 2, 3, or 4 of you. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand right now. I would love for you to find me after True North or text me and say, I will take you up on the challenge. Not everybody's going to do it. Not everybody's going to want to do it. Not all of you would even maybe be, disciplined or mature enough to do it. I think you are, and you could be. But I need a few people to say, okay, I'm going to take you up on this. Starting with the new chapter on Sunday, I'm going to try to go through at least a week. I'd love for you to try to commit to 3 weeks. And here's what we've asked you to do. For 3 weeks, I'm looking for 3 or 4 people that would be willing to maybe sit up here at True North and share about this process, because I am convinced that it will change something about your life. I'm totally convinced that if you said, I'll take 3 weeks and I will do exactly what we've been challenged to do. On Sunday, I will read the text. In this case, Hebrews 11. On Sunday, I'm just going to read it. It's 40 verses. I'll read it. On Monday, I'll read it again, but this time I'll underline or highlight things that really stand out. So I've now read it twice. On Tuesday, I'm going to pray through it. I'm just going to read the text again, 40 verses. Doesn't take 3 minutes. You're now up to 12 minutes of time. in your whole week, not in one day. I'm going to read it and I'm going to pray through it. God, let me be like this person. God, let this be true of me. On Wednesday, I'm going to share it somehow. I'll post about it on social media. I'll share a verse with a friend. I'll text it out to my teammates. I'll write it on a card and put it on my locker. I'll send a picture of it to somebody and say, hey, this verse, however you want to, share it somehow on Wednesday. On Thursday, I'll read it with a friend. I'll call somebody and we'll read it, via FaceTime when we get to school, in the parking lot, or at home on Thursday afternoon, or at lunch. I'll read it with somebody out loud on Thursday, 40 verses, 3 minutes. On Friday, I'm going to write about it. I'll get a journal, I'll get a piece of paper. For 3 weeks, I'll get a piece of paper, and I'll write down one reason, like what Blake just did. Here's the reason that I think this was in the 52 things that I need to know as a teenager, whether you're a 7th grader or a 12th grader. And then on Saturday, I'm going to put everything else down, just my Bible, and I'm going to read it again. Or I'm going to listen to it on your Bible app, whatever you want. I'm just going to read it again. What I'm looking for are 3 or 4 teens. I'd love to have 2 guys and 2 girls that are willing to say, okay, you know what? I've not necessarily been in this so far, but for 3 weeks, I'll do that. I'll try to go 21 days. If you do something 21 times, it's a habit. It becomes a habit pretty quickly. And for 21 days, I'm going to try to do that. That's 3 chapters you'll cover, whatever the next 3 are. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to get somebody to remind me to do it, and I'm going to try to do it for 3 weeks. And then I'm just going to be willing to get up there and tell the youth group, here are some things I learned about myself. If you're willing to do that, which I know not all of you want to, and that's totally fine. But if you're willing to do that, I want you to text me or see me tonight and say, I'll take you up on that. And it's not easy. You got to be ready to try it. And then we'll have a panel discussion, and we'll just find out what it is that you really, happened to you. If more than 4 do it, we'll figure out a way to make it all work. But that's the challenge, okay? All right. Which of those, I didn't ask you this ahead of time, so I'm catching you off guard. Yeah. But of those 7 things, if you're doing those as a team, which of those 7 do you think is going to be one that is going to be more meaningful than maybe you realize?
Probably meeting and reading with somebody else.
Why is that?
Well, I think Scripture, at least for me, is every time I open the Bible, I learn something about myself and I learn something about God. And this gives you an opportunity to learn something about somebody else and see somebody else's perspective about Scripture. And there are a lot of things, even doing what we do, there are a lot of times that somebody else may say something that changes the perspective of a verse for us. It could be, you could be meeting with somebody that's not a believer, and it ends up being this incredible story of a year's worth of meeting together and getting to know somebody, and lead to a lot of incredible and powerful things.
I'm not trying to make anybody do something against your will. I believe strongly enough that if somebody does this for 3 weeks, you will have a story to tell the rest of us that'll be a blessing. I have no idea what it'll be. I can't even really predict what it'll be. But some of you are like, no thanks, I'm out. I've not read any of them. I'm not going to read them now. That's fine. But if there's 4 or 5 of you, 3 or 4 of you that are saying, I'll do it for 3 weeks. I promise I'll do it for 3. I can't do it for 4. I won't probably do it for 5, but I'll give you 3 weeks to try it out. I think we'd have some really cool stories that would come out of that, okay? You're going to engage with the text in 6 different ways. You're going to read it on Sunday and Saturday, but then every day you'll do something different with it. There we go. We're not going to go through that every week, but because we had a good crowd tonight, and because we haven't talked about this in a while, and because we were reminded in our last series how important this is, I just think these 52 things are things that everybody needs to know before you head out into the world. So there we go. Hey, those of you that are going to help us sing, if you guys will come on up and take your place right now. The prayer cards are on the stage behind us, so you need to know that if you're a guest, every first Wednesday of the month, or in this case, we were gone for spring break, but the first Wednesday of every month, we fill out these prayer papers, and you can write down any prayer request. Not everybody has to write something down, but anybody is welcome to. If you're a guest, first time, that's fine. If you're an adult, you want to write on a piece of paper back there, or you want to come up here. Catherine Floyd tonight is going to be sitting in this room right over here with a light on, and she's going to pray for all of these tonight while we worship and while we teach. So you can write down anything you want. You can put your name on it, or you don't have to. You can be as specific or as vague as you want. But one of the coolest things is watching everybody up here on the stage fill these out, knowing that all these things are going to be prayed for not only tonight, but they're going to be prayed for every single Wednesday for the rest of April until we start again in the next month, okay? So for the first couple of songs, we'll leave the lights up so that you can do that. Everybody, let's all stand up. We'll turn the lights out in the back, and we'll leave these front lights up for just a bit, and we'll get ready to worship God, all right? Let's sing together, everybody, and feel free to fill out a prayer. Here we go. Father God, just for today, help me walk my narrow way. Help me stand when I fall. Give me your strength to hear your call. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. Ladies. Father God, just for today, help me walk your narrow way. Help me stand when I might fall. Give me your strength to hear your call. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. May my steps be worship, may my thoughts be praise, may my words bring honor to your name. Salvation
Reign in your power over all my dreams.
Let us hear a reading from the word of the Lord. No, turn it up.
By faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, he obeyed and went even though he did not know where he was going. By faith, he made his home in the promised land like a stranger in a foreign country, for he was looking forward to the city with foundations whose architect and builder is God.
May God bless the reading of his word. So we spent, 11 weeks looking through the armor of God, and I was encouraged by your response to that series and the things that we talked about. There were several people that said things like, oh man, I thought Armor of God was going to be kind of like, going back to VBS. Nothing is wrong with VBS. But when you're, a teenager, you're thinking, I've been there, I've heard that, I already know that. Thanks so much. Appreciate that, Reed. And yet, when you get to be a little bit older, passages like that become even more significant. There's one verse that I want us to look at because it comes from the chapter that you read. And most of you, if you read Hebrews 11 this week, some of you I know have, you have seen this passage. David Young did a series about this entire chapter for like several weeks. Like 8 weeks we spent on this particular chapter of the Bible. As I mentioned, David, I want to make sure that we know that we're all going to remind everybody to be praying for him on Friday. His surgery, a pretty extensive surgery, is going to take place on Friday morning. Everything is still on go for that on Friday morning. And I would just love for you to set a timer on your phone for like 7:30 that morning or 8 o'clock that morning before you get to school. Just set a timer. You can even do that, now if you need to do that. Set a timer to remind yourself that on Friday morning, when it kind of goes off, you're going to say, I'm going to stop and I'm just going to say a prayer for David, for the doctors, for the equipment, for the hospital, and that God's hand will be over all of that. Because he's going to be out, several of us will be filling in for him over the next 6 weeks. It's going to be at least a 6-week recovery, and so there's a plan for 6 weeks. And I'll be first up on the 10th, preaching at the East Campus on Sunday morning. I'm going to need 5 students to help with both services. So before I forget, if you are willing to help, you're not going to have to do a whole lot. You'll just have to hold something, but you'll be a part of the message that morning. It can be the same people for both services, or I can get some first service and second service. But if you're in the room and you're a teenager, I'd really like to have 3 guys and 2 girls, or 2 guys and 3 girls. I need it to be a mix. If you are able to help out and you want to specify which service, you can tell me afterwards, but it's going to be a lot easier if you just shoot me a text and say, I'm willing to help. I probably can't use everybody that's willing to help, so don't take it personally. But I do need 5 of you to help at first and 5 of you to help at second. And we'll walk through that. So let's be praying for David on Friday. Be sure and set an alarm or an alert on your phone to do that. We're going to come back to this verse in just a minute. There's a story that I think I told at True North, but I looked and it was like in 2006 when I told the story. So I feel like we're probably safe to go and repeat it again. I'm sure that I've shared it maybe since then in another setting. I don't know that I ever shared it in a sermon, and it might have been in 2016 that we shared it the second time. I'm sorry, I said 2006. It was 2007, and then in 2016. So those of you that were in the youth group in 2016, which I think might only be the seniors, you might have been in the 7th grade then, if I've done my math right. You may not remember the story, but it is one of the most captivating stories and one that I think really fits for tonight. We're not really beginning a new series. We're kind of in that strange period between coming off of spring break and where do we go from here. So I wanted just to dive in for tonight, and I'm glad that you're here because I hope that you will be challenged by this story. It was a story that appeared in the Washington Post. The story won a Pulitzer Prize for the journalist that wrote it, meaning that it was such a great story that got so much attention that he kind of won like an Oscar award for writing, for a journalist. That's what that prize is in simple terms. Like a Grammy or an Oscar or a Tony Award for writers. And it captivated the whole nation. I realized when I got here that I made a page of notes and I left them, I think, lying on my desk when I left. And so I think I can make it without those, but they're probably there somewhere, or they may be in my car. I have no idea what happened to them. But I think most of the information is on the slide. It took place at 7:51 a.m. on Friday, January the 12th of 2007. It took place at the L'Enfant Plaza, which is a metro stop in Washington, D.C. Some of you have probably been to Washington, D.C. You've probably ridden the metro, and you've probably stopped at this particular stop. How many of you know for a fact that you have probably been there? I've been there, and I see several other hands that have been there on the metro, kind of like the subway in New York. When somebody had an idea and they wondered if they could do an experiment at rush hour on the morning, Friday morning, at 7:51, it was an experiment that took 43 minutes, and 1,097 passengers would walk by a certain spot in this metro stop. How many of you have ever been to a subway in New York or Chicago or a large city? Anybody been to a subway stop? So you know lots of people cycle through these things. And they asked themselves one specific question: do you have time for beauty? Well, it's kind of an unfair question, because if you're late for work and you're busy on a Friday, you might set aside time on Saturday or Sunday or vacation to enjoy something beautiful. But if you're in a hurry, you're in a hurry. And for most of us, Monday through Friday, and for some of us, Sundays, we're like really running around and going all crazy, and we don't just have time to stop and enjoy something that is beautiful. I don't know when the last time was that you just found yourself, and I'd love for two people to maybe answer the question, one from each side. When was the last time that you stopped and looked at something odd and random that you normally would not have done, but somehow you just stopped and for a few moments you enjoyed something that you thought, man, that is really cool, that is really beautiful, that is so awe-inspiring? Does somebody have a specific example that you can share? Alexa, what do you got? Okay, you went to the zoo on Saturday and noticed the flowers. Most people are looking at the animals and you see these awesome flowers. That's really, really cool. Yes? You flew over spring break or just one time? Oh, wow. Flew in a helicopter over the Grand Canyon. And you're like, Gannon! That's awesome. That was really cool. So you saw the Grand Canyon. Somebody over here, a couple of guys over here, something that legitimate I'm always nervous. This front row makes me very, very nervous. We'll get a couple here and I'll come over here to these guys here. Yes, real quick.
The cherry blossoms at the tidal basin in Washington, D.C.
All right, the cherry blossoms and why? Yeah, they just caught your eye. Very good. Okay, he said, I was hiking in Rock Island and saw a raccoon that was either dead or sleeping. Okay, very good. That's very, very poignant. Yeah.
We're in a barbershop quartet. It sounded very, very.
Okay, you all were in a barbershop quartet. Were you performing somewhere?
No, we're performing.
Oh, you're okay. Very good. All right, very good. Yeah, let's get one right here. A manhole cover. Where was this manhole cover that you stopped and admired?
It was a while ago, but it was in St. Augustine.
Okay, and what was unique about it?
It just had this beautiful design of the city on it.
Okay, all right, very cool. It's a great example. Yeah, Jackson.
I went to the zoo on Saturday.
You went to the zoo. What did you see?
I was like big boy fish.
Okay, all right, very cool. Looking at some fish there in the zoo. I mean, there's times when you see these things, you're like, I know I've seen that before. I mean, when you go to the beach, I didn't get to go to the beach this spring break, but when you go to the beach and you see a bird running down the beach, or maybe you see a fish in the water or a crab, and you just stop and for 15, 20 minutes, you're just looking at something that you've never taken that time to look at before. So this particular journalist thought, I just wonder, would people have time for something that was beautiful? Now, some of you may have heard the story of Joshua Bell. Joshua Bell is a world-renowned violinist. We're talking this, he's been described, his music by one critic, it does nothing less than tell human beings why they bother to live. Joshua Bell was a prodigy at a very young age, meaning that his parents noticed something was unique. This is really cool. Before he played the violin, his mother played the piano. He would listen to the songs. They would hear those songs coming from his room down the hall. They would go down to the hall when he was 3 years old, and he had taken the drawers on the cabinet and pulled them out at different lengths, tied rubber bands from knob to knob, and was plucking out the songs he learned on the piano, playing them on his own own instrument that he made with the drawers in his room, and would move the drawers to different depths to create different tones, and would play. And they immediately knew, we've got to sign this guy up for music lessons. They signed him up at 4 years old to play the violin. He was performing with major symphonic orchestras in concerts at Carnegie Hall by the time he was a teenager. And he's world-renowned. Joshua Bell, the night before this experiment took place, he had performed a concert in the Washington area. He had been to the Smithsonian recently and performed concerts that were $150 a seat, would fill large stadiums. The equivalent of $1,000 per minute is what he would make from playing these concerts. And he had made them several. He has a net worth of over $15 million now. And even at the time this happened in 2007, he was quite famous. Here's the question the journalist asked. If you took a common setting and you took an inconvenient time, would beauty transcend? What would win? Beauty, or would it be the pace and the hectic schedule of life? What would win? Well, you can imagine. What they asked him to do is they went to him and they said, Joshua, what if we took your violin? By the way, this violin is his. And it's known as the Gibson X Huberman because it belonged to a guy named Branislav Huberman. This is a picture of him. That violin was stolen from Huberman in 1916. It was stolen again from him in 1936 after being found, and was missing until 1985 when the guy who stole it on his deathbed confessed to his wife that he stole it. And he told her where it was. She went and got the violin and turned it into an auction company and said, my husband confessed to stealing this. He passed. Here's this violin. It took 9 months to restore it, and then it sold at auction for $1.2 million. Joshua Bell loved the violin so much that I'd never had a violin that played quite like that one. And he said, I want to buy it from you. And the guy said, it's yours for $4 million as a joke. Joshua Bell paid him $4 million for this violin. And it's now his violin that he travels around the world with, and he takes with him anytime he goes anywhere. It, of course, stays on his person as he goes from place to place. A $4 million violin that today, and I just found this out today, that if it were sold today, it would sell for over $14.5 million. A single violin. I don't understand. I just don't get, I love music. I just don't understand how a violin sells for that much money. Anyway, that's what he paid for it. He was going to play this particular piece of music, Shakan, which I probably completely butchered the name of that. But one critic said, it is not just one of the greatest pieces of music ever written, but it is one of the greatest achievements of any man in history. About its composer, J.S. Bach, one particular composer said, on one stave, for one small instrument, a man has written a whole world of the deepest thoughts and powerful feelings. If I imagined that I could have created, even conceived of this piece, I am quite certain that the excess of excitement and earth-shattering experience would have driven me out of my mind. That's what Brahms said about this particular piece of music. It is known as one of the most difficult pieces of music to master, and it's 14 minutes long with hardly any breaks. And it was the piece that Joshua Bell was going to play. But they said, what we want you to do is we want you to put on a baseball cap. We want you to wear regular clothes. We want you to take your violin and stand at the metro stop against the wall, and we want you to play the way any street performer would play. How many of you have been to New York, Chicago, any big city, and you've seen a street musician playing? One of the coolest moments of my life was years ago, 10 or 15 years ago, on one of our mission trips to Shiloh. We were in Central Park, and we came upon a saxophone player, and we stopped him, and we said, hey, would you play this song? And he played it. Could you play this song? And then one of us said, could you play Amazing Grace? And he said, sure, if you'll sing. And so we all said, sure, we'll start singing. So he played Amazing Grace, and we all began to sing. And the team of about 20 of us were huddled around singing Amazing Grace while this guy played. He was playing underneath one of those arch bridges in Central Park, so the sound magnified. And we were barely underneath the bridge. And as we did, we saw 3 or 4 other people that showed up and came. And then we started hearing like, wow, we're sounding really good. Like we're sounding really loud. Like it sounds like angels are joining us. One person actually said that to me. It sounds like angels are singing with us. And I thought something really cool is happening until I realized, and I stepped out from under the bridge and I looked up, and there was at least 30 people lined up on the bridge, all of them in New York City, Central Park, singing Amazing Grace with us. He got done playing. Everybody applauded. One girl was standing there and she said, I'm on my way for a 6-month stay in, I think it was Romania for mission work. It might have been Hungary that she was going. And she said, I'm going to go to Eastern Europe and I'm gone and I've got an 8-hour layover and I'm by myself. And this was such an encouragement to me. This is my last stop before I leave. Could I just hang out with you guys for a couple hours? And she stayed with us for a bit and was there for us singing. So you've seen a street performer. You know how cool of an experience it can be. Sometimes they're playing crazy looking instruments. One guy in New York was playing a large saw, the kind you'd saw a log with. He was playing a saw and it was really cool. Sometimes they're playing the tuba. They've got street performers playing music even here in Murfreesboro. There's a guy that plays the violin in Franklin all the time on the square in Franklin that I love to go in here. So they said, Joshua Bell, could you just sit there, and disguise yourself and stand there on the side? And the question is, would people recognize that they were in the presence of genius? Because he was the most renowned violinist in all of the world and certainly in America. Well, 63 people pass by during that 43-minute period before somebody even stops, before anybody stops to listen to him play. The most famous musician in the world. Nearly 10 minutes pass before somebody leans against the wall to stop and listen. And in 43 minutes, there were 7 people who stopped out of 1,097. 1,090 do not stop. 7 people stopped for any length of time, whether a few seconds or a few moments. 27 people gave him money in his open violin case, and he made $32.17 in 43 minutes from playing the violin. Joshua Bell said, it was a strange feeling to have people actually ignoring me while I played. The first guy that stops, his name is John Mortensen. He is 3 minutes early for work, and he stops as 93 other people pass by. Josh Bell said the awkward times were what happened right after each piece ended. He played several different pieces. Nothing. No applause, no reaction, maybe a few people dropping money in. He said the same people who didn't notice me playing didn't even notice that I had finished. There was no applause, no acknowledgement. Then Sherry and Evan Parker come by. It's a mom and a preschooler. Evan is 3 years old. William Collins, the poet, said, all babies are born with a knowledge of poetry because a mother's heart is in iambic pentameter. Then life slowly starts to choke the poetry out of all of us. Every single time that a child passed by, when they watched the footage, the child tried to stop, and every time the adult pulled them along out of the way. George Tinley stops. He's a 40-year-old waiter. J.T. Tillman stops by. He was waiting in a lottery ticket line and bought 10 tickets. He's one of the people that stopped because he had to stop and stand there, but he stops and he pays attention a little bit to Joshua Bell while he's waiting in line. Bell says, I was beginning to feel that the inattention was deliberate. If you don't take visible note of the musician, then you don't have to feel guilty about not giving him anything. I'm just going to let that phrase sink in to a lot of us, because a lot of us who are trying to walk a faith journey, I think this may be the way that maybe we make our Creator feel, that particular quote. Calvin Myant, I'm not sure how he pronounces his last name, he had no memory of even hearing a musician. He was listening to his iPod even though he stopped, and he was listening to a song by The Cure called Just Like Heaven. He remembered that when he was being interviewed. They stopped a few people and said, tell us about what you've been doing the past little bit. And only one person mentions even seeing a violin player. Calvin just says, I was listening to a song by The Cure on my iPod. Edna Souza shined shoes at the plaza, and Edna says that guy was pretty good. It was the first time that I did not call the police on a street performer to get away because they're not allowed to be in that particular area. John Piccarello, he stops and listens, but he doesn't move for 9 minutes. He's the only person out of the 40 people that were contacted that passed through that day who even mentions that they heard a violinist or saw a violinist without being asked. And he says other people were just not getting it. That was baffling to me. I studied violin seriously up until age 18, and I wanted to be a concert violinist. I went up and I threw in $5, and then I walked away from the man that I once wanted to be. Janice Olu, she stops for a minute, looks at her watch, and says, I really don't want to leave, but she had to get on her way. And then there's Stacy Furukawa. She's the only person who actually recognized that she was standing in the presence of Joshua Bell, because she had just seen him perform at a concert a few nights before at the Smithsonian. And she said, I could not believe what was happening. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in Washington. Joshua Bell standing there playing at rush hour, and people were not even stopping, not even looking. And those who did were flipping quarters at him. Quarters, she said. And she said, I was not sure what was going on, but I was definitely not going to miss it. So here is a picture of Joshua Bell that day with his ball cap on, wearing ordinary clothes, with a $4 million violin, playing a 43 minutes worth of music as almost 1,100 people passed by him. PBS did a special on this. They had a video, they sped it up. So what you're about to see is a sped up version. It starts off regular speed and speeds up. But you will notice, in the pace of everything that's going on, you will be able to identify Stacy Furukawa. All the other people are in this video too. I can't point them out. I can't find them. You'll be able to identify who Stacy Furukawa is. Let's take a minute and just watch this video, guys, if you'll play that clip. This is what happened that day in 2007 as Joshua Bell played for 43 minutes in the Washington, D.C. metro. Guys. Joshua Bell is over to the left side there getting his violin out. You see him there. By the way, has not been sped up. That is the actual piece. I just love the image of her stopping in the midst of all the chaos. Joshua Bell was back in the country a month later after this event happened to receive the Avery Fisher Prize, which goes to the best classical musician in America. And there's that image that I just love. The picture quality's poor, but you see this person stopping for what amounts to several minutes as the world speeds on around her, and she says, I have no idea what's going on or why he's there or what he's doing there, but I know who that is, and I'm not going to miss it. And I'm just going to stand right there in the midst of a crazy world while I get to watch this happen in front of me. If you remember back to Daniel 3, Daniel 3 should sound familiar to some of you because that was the chapter that we read 3 weeks ago. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they stand up in a world that is all bowing down, and they stand out. And everybody can pick them out. And if anybody said, where is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the crowd? Nobody knew it until the music started, and then everybody bowed down to a large idol of the king, and then there they are, the three of them standing up. In a common setting, at an inconvenient time, would beauty transcend? That song, Just Like Heaven, that the guy was listening to on his iPod, I looked it up because I just thought, I'm not a huge music guy. I don't know a lot about music, and I certainly didn't know the lyrics to this song by The Cure, so I looked up the lyrics, and I want you to check out this. It's a song about tragic emotional disconnect. One person wrote about, I didn't write this, one person wrote about the song. A man has found the woman of his dreams, but he can't express the depth of his feeling for her until she's gone. And then it's about the bottom line there. It's about failing to see the beauty of what is plainly there in front of your eyes. That's what he's listening to on his iPod as everybody passes by. In 2014, he went back to the metro stop to perform a concert. But this time, they told everyone he was going to be there. This picture is only 1/7 of the crowd that was there as thousands of people showed up at this concert because this time they knew we're not going to pass by because we know who that guy is. You can draw all kinds of analogies to that, but I've got a short amount of time to just do one thing that I need to have a teen that is willing to be vulnerable, and I need a guy and a girl, and it's probably going to be best if it's an older student, maybe a junior or a senior. It doesn't have to be, but I need two of you that are willing to be vulnerable. This isn't going to be a funny ha-ha moment. This is going to be, could be a very powerful moment depending on if you're willing to do this. Luke, you willing to? Come on up, Luke. Come and stand right over here, and let's get somebody. Is there somebody from over here that is willing to be a part? Ava, come on up. All right, we have two students. They've not been prepped. I've not picked them. I've not talked to them. I really have no idea if this is going to go well or not, but we've only got about 6 or so minutes to make this work. And I want you to make this text come to life. I want you to show everybody why Hebrews 11 is one of the 52 chapters. Because you're going to model for us kind of what we have just seen. Because in the midst of everything that's crazy going on in the world here, as people are already thinking about what they got to do when they go home and what's going to happen tomorrow and what they got to be, you have stopped for just a minute to say, I'm going to stand in front of everybody and be vulnerable just like she did, and said, I'm just going to stop right here while the world cuts in front of me and behind me. And here's the chapter, the verse from Hebrews chapter 11. We read it. We heard it read earlier. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, he obeyed and he went, even though he did not know where he was going. By faith, he made his home in the promised land like a stranger in a foreign country, for he was looking forward to the city with foundations, whose architect and builder is God. Now, we don't have a lot of time. We may pick this back up next week, but here's what I'll say. I've shared this maybe 3 or 4 times with a crowd of people. Maybe once at a thing like Impact or maybe a retreat. We probably did it here in 2016. And every time the answers blow me away. That's not meant to put pressure on you because the answers are very simple. Here's what we're going to do. I want to just focus on these words that I've highlighted on the screen behind me, the orange words. I'm going to take every other word away. We'll just go back and look at those orange words. You guys see those words? Those are the only words that are important right now, and we're going to drop these out. We're going to fill in the blanks. Now, it's very easy what goes in the first blank. But from there, it gets a little more challenging. I'm going to cue you. There's no wrong answer. I don't want you to feel any pressure. You volunteered. I don't want anybody, this is not meant to be nerve-wracking, but you are going to have to think. The first blank should be easy. If you go back and look there, and you go back here, you're not trying to remember what goes in from that verse. We're not trying to memorize Hebrews 11. This is now about you and about you. So what do you think goes in that blank? Ava, what do you think goes in that blank? All right, you guys are already batting 1,000. Nice job. We already know what goes in there. If you're playing at home now, you know what goes in that blank. If you're a person who's never stepped foot in church, you can play this game and you got this one. This one's easy. By faith, and then you insert your name. Now, here is the tougher one. And this is the one that's going to require a little bit from both of you to be as vulnerable and as open as you want to be. And our time is short, so let's go quickly. By faith, Luke, by faith, Ava, when called to, now if we were to go back and see what Abram was called, he was called to go to a place, he was called to do something big. I want you to think about something, Luke. You can be vague. You don't have to mention names or specific situations, Ava. But I want you to think about something that you feel that God is calling you to that is a little, maybe is a little frightening. You're a little unsure about. You just don't quite know if you're ready for this. This may not be something you want to share in front of everybody. You can find something that is. I'm not asking you to be any more vulnerable than you want to be. By faith, Luke is, when called to by God, there's some situation in front of you. I can think of some that maybe you've talked about in, even at Winterfest. You mentioned a couple things that I thought were really cool. So if you need some help, I'll be glad to help provide you with some things. But I think you got this, and I know you well enough, Ava, to know that you think deeply about things like this, and you can probably fill in the blank here. Who wants to go first? Who can give me a situation that you feel like God, maybe not this week, but maybe recently, God has called you to do something. You can be general. I want you to fill in that blank. Who'll go first?
Can it just be like one word?
Sure, it can be one word. I'd like to flesh it out, but it can be one word.
Confess.
Okay, good. That's a great answer. By faith, Luke, when called to confess, that's an amazing answer, Luke, because that's a big one. We're not going to ask details or go in, but it's been called to confess. Okay, all right. Do you have one? It can be totally different. By faith, Ava, when called, or this opportunity that God's put before you, it could be involving another person or another group or something in your life. Can you think of one?
I guess lead.
Okay, good. That's a great one. By faith, Ava, when called to lead. Now, we could ask deeper questions about lead what. We're not going to do that right now. So now they filled in both blanks. Now you can fill in that blank for yourself. Everybody should be able to do this. When called to confess or when called to lead. Two very different things. I love the way this is going. I prayed before we started, God, just let two people volunteer that's going to mean something. Otherwise, this whole thing could go down fast. By faith, Ava, when called to lead. By faith, Luke, when called to confess. He or she, and then you fill in the blank as to maybe the step that you have taken. Is there a step you've already taken in this? Okay, what is the step that you've taken?
It's one of my friends. She's going through some stuff right now, so just trying to help her get through it, give some advice, trying to tell her what I would do in that situation to help her through it.
Okay, perfect. Now, there's people at home that may not be able to hear all that. You all should be able to hear that. Everybody hear her answer okay? She's got a friend going through some things. By faith, Ava, when called to lead, specifically a person, she began to talk to her friend about something that they were going through, which is scary. By faith, Luke, when called to confess, give us the first step that you've taken.
I called my brother.
Okay, these are great. Man, you guys are hitting it out of the park. By faith, Luke, when called to confess, he called his brother. All right, here's the tough one. Even though, this is going to be something that goes in that blank, Luke, that is like, you can see, even though there's got to be something that is a wall that's there or something trying to stop, but put words to it. By faith, Ava, when called to lead, she spoke out to her friend and spoke up to her friend, even though, what?
I feel like she doesn't listen at times.
Even though I feel like she may not listen to me at times. By faith, Ava, when called to lead, she spoke up even when her friend doesn't listen at times. That's good. By faith, Luke, when called to confess, he called his brother even though I was really embarrassed. Guys, I'm telling you, I can't even believe how incredible your answers are, and they're so different. And then here's the final one. Because Luke was looking forward to, because Ava was looking forward to, now let's fill in this blank. You've nailed the first ones. This one has to be the easiest of all of them except for your name. What's the next one? By faith, Ava, when called to lead, she stepped out, called her friend, even though her friend doesn't always listen at times, because Ava was looking forward to keeping that friendship strong, getting your friend to a better place. Perfect. By faith, Luke, when called to confess, he called his brother, even though he was terribly embarrassed because he was looking forward to
receiving advice from someone I admire.
Receiving advice from someone I admire. I know that even because of the even though, Guys, we have to wrap up, and I wish that we didn't have to. I mean, this is a great place to end, but I wish we had more time because I had no idea they were going to do the job they did. I had no idea. What you are looking at are two people who, in the midst of all of your crazy lives, whatever you're guilty of and you're embarrassed by, whatever friendship you're struggling with, some of you heard yourselves in Ava, whether you're a guy or a girl. Some of you heard yourselves in Luke, whether you're a guy or a girl. And I'm just telling you right now, some of you are like, I cannot believe that they just did what they did. What they've done is they've stopped in the middle of the plaza because they say, God is doing something. I don't know what he's doing, but he may want me to be a part of it, and I'm going to volunteer and be a part of it right now. So here they are. And now you're stopping. They've recognized that they were in the presence of God, and he's up to something bigger than just me sitting there checking my phone for what's going to happen next in my life or what I got to do when I leave here. And so we wrap up with this. There's an even though. There's an even though answer in that blank. And those, man, if we could just stand up around the room and you shared your even though. Hey, there's adults that could stand up and share an even though. You all know what they are. Some of you would be willing to share them, and others of you would say, I don't want anybody to know my even though. But the reason they're able to share it is because their last blank they're looking forward to is bigger than their even though. And that's all I want to share with you as to why Hebrews 11 is in that list. The reason that those people were talked about thousands of years later in True North, those people that lived so, the reason that we talked about them tonight and we think that the chapter in the Bible that mentions them is worth being one of the 52 that is more important than any other chapters in the Bible, the reason that that's true is because those are people and they're looking forward to blank answer was bigger than their even though. If you got that, just say, I got it. And let me just close by telling you this. Your life will forever be bottom shelf, lazy, shallow, depressed, anxious, not because you're worthless, not because you're bad, not because you've done something that counts you out. No, it is because you have not yet gotten to a point to where the thing that you're looking forward to is bigger than your even though. But when the even though changes, it doesn't matter how embarrassed you are about what you did because you're looking forward to getting advice from somebody you love. I mean, I've known you for a long time, Luke. I may have, this is the proudest that I've been of you, except for when you stood up at Winterfest and talked about the time that friends had to come and drag you out of the house during quarantine. That was an incredible story, and I want the whole group to hear more about that later on. And I've known you for a very long time since you were making videos on the mission computer in the hallway and cracking us all up. And here you are as a senior and you're saying, oh God, why are you calling me to lead? And I've got this friend, I don't want to damage a friendship, but I'm called to do it, even though my friend may not listen because I want them to be in a better place and I want our relationship to be strong. You've heard two amazing examples. They're looking forward to, at some point, got bigger than the even though. And I know your even those are scary. I've still got some even those in my life that are bigger than the looking forward tos, and I'm just praying that changes. But Hebrews 11, in a common place, in a common setting, when life is going on all around you, would there be somebody that would recognize that God was doing something amazing, and would they stop and say, I just want to be a part of it? That's why I want 4 or 5 people to say, I'll give you 3 weeks to soak in those chapters and I'll stop. I'll stop. If it's 30 of you, great. If it's 3 of you, fine. If it's 1 of you, okay. So if you want to do that, you can text me. If you're willing to help Sunday, you can text me. But my thanks to both of you for doing something that I never saw coming. I just did not expect those answers to come from. I'm just really thankful. I don't know what your even though is, but let's pray for it right now as we close. God, right now, you know all the even those. Most of them were written on pieces of paper that were put under the doors in the 9th grade classroom. And Catherine's praying for a whole bunch of even those. But God, I pray for at least somebody in the room who is ready for that thing they're looking forward to get bigger than the even though. And God, when that happens, incredible things will happen. So I thank you for the concert that you've put on for us tonight, and I thank you for the concert of worship that we've given to you, and I'm thankful that both sides stopped and enjoyed each other for a brief moment. And it's through the name of Jesus that we say thanks and we pray and we say amen. God bless you guys. Have a great, great, great night. Thank you all very much. Y'all have a great night. Take care.